after I gave birth to my son, my ass was fucking huge. And the reason why my ass was so fucking huge, because I almost fucking gained 20 pounds. And that went everywhere in my body. And you already know my ass already have some ass shots. So my ass was already fucking huge as like putting that baby weight on my body plus them.
Cardi B has survived internet hate, chart-topping controversy, and public breakdowns. But this might be the messiest chapter of her story yet, because according to the internet, Cardi didn't just get dumped. She got clowned, dragged, and allegedly discarded because of the very thing that helped her rise to fame: her body. If you believe the rumors, NFL star Stefon Diggs broke up with Cardi not because of drama, cheating, or lifestyle differences, but because of her BBL, and more specifically, how it supposedly smelled. Yes, that's what the internet is saying. And it gets worse. Allegedly, Stefon didn't just leave. He ran back to his ex, who immediately started airing receipts like she'd been waiting for this moment all along. Suddenly, Cardi's Coachella photos were going viral, not for her performance, but for how strange her body looked. People were zooming in, theorizing about infection, talking about proportions, and asking, what the hell happened to Cardi's BBL? But this story goes way deeper than just a bad breakup or a viral tweet. It's about insecurity, surgery addiction, toxic beauty culture, and what happens when your biggest insecurity becomes the world's favorite punchline. Let's unpack it all. It all started during Coachella weekend. Cardi B stepped out, ready to perform, dressed as flashy and confident as ever. But when the photos from that event hit the internet, they didn't land how she probably expected. Her body, specifically her hips and butt, looked off. Fans noticed immediately. The proportions didn't make sense. Her waist looked unusually cinched, her hips oddly rounded, and the way she was standing made the entire silhouette seem almost cartoonish. Twitter and TikTok did what they always do. Screenshots spread like wildfire. One post called it the most botched BBL ever seen at a music festival. Another joked, Cardi's BBL about to file for disability. Soon, threads were comparing older pictures of her body to the new ones, questioning whether she'd gotten another round of injections or whether her BBL had finally backfired. Cardi clapped back, insisting the photos were edited or unflattering. She posted her own version, showing off her angles and curves, trying to shut it down. But by then, the internet had moved on. The memes were rolling, and worse, another piece of the story had already dropped. While Cardi was trending for her body, fans noticed something strange. Stefon Diggs was nowhere to be found. This wasn't just any guy. This was her rumored man, an NFL star who had been publicly linked to her for months. They weren't official on Instagram, but the streets had receipts, sightings, flirty comments, paparazzi photos. But now, Stefon was quiet, unusually quiet. Then, boom, his ex suddenly popped up online, posting old photos of them cuddling. And not just throwbacks. She dropped what looked like recent texts, flirty messages, inside jokes. And the kicker, she posted a tweet that had everyone side-eyeing hard. I don't post him. I be with him in real life. We be doing it raw. The timing couldn't have been worse. Or, depending on who you ask, it couldn't have been more intentional. After that, the narrative spiraled. First it was Stefon left Cardi. Then it became Stefon left Cardi because of her body. And finally, it turned into something out of a bad fanfic. Stefon dumped Cardi because her BBL smells. It started on Twitter as a joke. Then people started referencing old interviews where Cardi talked about the pain and leaking from her early surgery. Then others claimed to have heard from someone close to the situation that things had gotten so bad. Even odor was involved. No receipts, no confirmation, just vibes, screenshots, and imagination. But that didn't matter. The internet ran with it. TikTokers made videos pretending to smell like Cardi. Meme pages posted side-by-sides with cartoon noses. One person even edited a fake TMZ headline that read, Stefon Diggs leaves Cardi B after BBL starts leaking. The sad part? Cardi had already been open about her BBL journey. She's never lied about getting surgery. In fact, she's one of the only celebrities who's actually admitted to the work she's had done. She's talked about her chest implants, her rhinoplasty, her liposuction, and yes, her BBL. She's explained many times that growing up in the Bronx made her feel like she wasn't enough. She was skinny, flat, and in her neighborhood, that meant you were invisible. The girls who got attention had hips, backside, curves, and Cardi didn't have that. So when she started dancing through adult entertainment, she didn't feel empowered. She felt out of place. She said she watched other girls make double what she made just because their bodies matched what the men wanted. And that's when she made the decision that changed everything. At just 20 years old, Cardi didn't have the money for a real plastic surgeon, so she found a woman named Donna Francis, someone doing illegal injections out of a Brooklyn apartment. No license, no anesthesia, just $800 cash and a syringe full of who knows what. Cardi later said it was one of the most painful things she'd ever experienced. The silicone leaked from her body for days. She got dizzy, thought she might pass out. Years later, Donna Francis made national headlines for killing one of her clients with the same illegal injections. She was arrested and sentenced. Cardi was lucky, but the damage, physically and mentally, was already done. That first surgery started a cycle. Once she saw how a change could boost her confidence and her income, she kept going. A chest augmentation, a tummy tuck, lipo after giving birth, nose filler, then a full nose job. And the thing is, she was honest about all of it. She told GQ, she went live on Instagram, she warned girls not to do it too young. She told them to wait, to do their research, to never go to backroom clinics. But even with that honesty, the internet kept picking her apart. After giving birth to her daughter Culture in 2018, Cardi B's body shifted in ways she hadn't fully prepared for. Like a lot of new moms, she was hit with the physical toll of pregnancy, loose skin, weight fluctuations, and that unfamiliar feeling of looking in the mirror and not fully recognizing yourself. But unlike most new moms, Cardi was doing it all in the public eye, where people feel way too comfortable commenting on your body just days after delivery. And it didn't help that Cardi had built her image around looking bold, curvy, and confident. So the pressure to snap back wasn't just internal, it was global. So she did what she'd always done when she didn't feel like herself. She booked a procedure. Actually, more than one. She got liposuction to help get rid of the stubborn baby weight. She touched up some areas that had changed after breastfeeding, and she hoped that with a few tweaks, she'd feel like her old self again. But the timing was brutal. Cardi didn't give her body time to heal. Instead of resting post-op like her doctor advised, she jumped straight back into a packed performance schedule, flying, dancing, doing appearances, and pushing herself to stay relevant. It didn't take long for her body to start waving the red flags. Her feet swelled to the point that they looked painful, almost disfigured. At one point, she posted a photo of her swollen ankles and legs to Instagram, and fans were horrified. People weren't just shocked, they were concerned. The comments were flooded with warnings and begging her to slow down. And for once, Cardi actually admitted that she might have gone too far. She confessed that she didn't listen to her doctor's advice. She said she felt pressure to be back on stage, back on red carpets, and back to looking perfect as fast as possible. It was one of the few moments Cardi showed a crack in her usual confidence. She didn't play it off. She said plainly, "I should have taken more time to rest." Eventually, her body forced her to stop. The swelling, fatigue, and complications made it impossible to ignore anymore. That's when Cardi announced that she'd be canceling some of her shows to recover. It wasn't just about looks anymore, it was about survival. She took a step back, listened to her doctors, and let her body breathe. But only for a while. Because when your career moves at Cardi B speed, the world doesn't wait for you to catch up. Cardi wasn't alone. The mid-2000s became the BBL era. Everyone from influencers to reality stars were flying to Miami, Colombia, or the Dominican Republic to get it done. Suddenly, having a snatched waist and a huge backside wasn't just trendy, it was a requirement for fame. Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, Instagram models. Everyone had that look. But no one talked about the risks, the infections, the deaths, the fact that BBLs became the most dangerous plastic surgery in the world. Cardi did. She talked about her regrets, about the pain, about how addictive it was to fix one thing, then want to fix 5 more. And yet, people still mocked her the second something looked off. After the Coachella pics, Cardi went live to address the rumors. She said the images were photoshopped. She posted videos showing her body in motion, but it didn't help. In fact, it made people double down. She's covering it up. She's lying. She knows her BBL is botched. It didn't matter how open she'd been before. Now that the internet had turned on her, nothing she said mattered. She clapped back, calling haters broke and ugly. She dragged trolls in DMs, but the damage was already done. Let's not forget, Stefon Diggs isn't exactly innocent in all this. This is a guy who's had cheating allegations before, who's been linked to multiple women, who once allegedly got booted by Young Miami for being messy. So, when he ghosted Cardi and reappeared with his ex, people weren't surprised. They were just annoyed that he chose to do it when she was already being humiliated. Was he using her moment of vulnerability as a clean exit? Or had he never taken the relationship seriously in the first place? Either way, he's been quiet. He hasn't defended her. Hasn't denied the rumors, just silence. At the core of this entire situation is a woman who told the truth and got punished for it. Cardi B admitted to getting illegal surgery. She admitted to hating her body. She admitted to making mistakes. And instead of applauding that honesty, the internet used it against her. The lesson here isn't don't get surgery, it's you can never win. If she lied, people would call her fake. If she told the truth, people would call her stupid. And when her relationship allegedly fell apart, the same people who pressured her into looking a certain way mocked her for how she looked. So, did Stefon Diggs really dump Cardi B because of her BBL? That's the rumor that's been circulating. But as always, the truth may be more complicated. Neither Cardi nor Stefon have confirmed anything publicly, and until they do, all we have are the timelines, the reactions, and the speculation. What we do know is this. A single photo sparked a wave of online backlash, old interviews resurfaced, and the internet filled in the blanks. Whether the breakup happened or not, and whether her body had anything to do with it, that remains unverified. But one thing is clear, when it comes to celebrities, perception spreads faster than facts. What do you think really happened between Cardi and Stefon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned, because in the world of celebrity drama, things can change overnight.